today we have another chance and it's another day, so I'm ready.
Good job, enjoy the race. Ha detto sì, sicuramente non è stata una bella gara e quindi cercherà di far meglio e niente, inizia lo schieramento, quindi non...
Hello everybody, welcome back to Riola Sardo, the MXGP of Sardinia. Today is race day on Sunday. We're live on MXGP TV. My name is Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us once again for our live coverage of the FIM Motocross World Championship. We are on the island of Sardinia, just off the west coast of Italy, and we're on the west coast of the island as well. And I think you'll agree it's a beautiful part of the world, great beaches, mountains, all the rest of it. It's scenic. And it's a fantastic venue as well. Deep, deep sand. It's going to be rough, gnarly. Conditions cooler than they were when we were here in May last year, where they were nudging 40 degrees almost. So, and with it being first thing in the morning, we're probably slightly less than the 20 degrees, although it feels warmer than that at the moment because we don't have the wind chill factor that we had, so it's actually feeling quite nice in the sun. Expect it to get warmer as the day goes on. And I'm glad to say that the racetrack has not been prepped completely flat overnight, so it will favour the sand merchants, those with the technique and all of the rest of it, but at the same time, it's going to be a real challenge as well. We are at sea level. The racetrack here just over 1,700 metres long. It's a short start straight downhill into turn one. We saw one or two incidents there yesterday. Nancy van der Ven, the defending champion, she thought she'd grabbed the whole shot, then folded the front. One or two riders ran into the back of her. There was another incident behind her as well that took out Lynn Volk, Charlie Cannon, Courtney Duncan got caught up in that as well as a bunch of other riders. And as the race went on, though, it was clear that Lotte van Drunen, the rookie to the class at 15 years old, on a private Kawasaki, had done her homework. She said in the post-race interview she was here a couple of weeks ago riding, and she went on to win comfortably by 30 seconds over Daniela Guillen. Courtney Duncan came through the field to finish in third ahead of Charlotte van der Bliss, Britt Jansweken, Amandine Verstappen. Charlie Cannon, a fantastic ride through to seventh ahead of Sarah Anderson, Lynn Volk and Chiara Fontanesi, who is feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit second-hand, a little bit sick. This is how the riders go to the line for race two, the same as they did in race one, based on their time practice. Lotte van Drunen, 3/4 of a second quicker than Daniela Guillen on the last lap gas team. Lynn Volk goes to the line third ahead of Courtney Duncan, Charlie Cannon, Nancy van der Ven, Amandine Verstappen, Martine Hughes and all the rest of it. Martine Hughes, incidentally, she was running up in third place as early as lap 3 or 4. Then she fell for the first time back down to around about 14th and then again down to 20th before remounting and finishing in 17th position. But the number 255, Daniela Guillen there on the last lap gas, she will be fired up. And I think yesterday there were one or two nerves flying around. Obviously it's been a long winter. Their last round was Turkey last year, which was back on the 4th of September, the 3rd and 4th of September. So a long time between races and gate drops at World Championship level. Everybody was fired up, expecting to do well. And of course, now that that first gate drop is out of the way, they are probably a little bit more settled. But someone like Nancy van der Ven, who is a good starter anyway, went down in turn one. Her bike expired halfway around the opening lap. She wasn't able to finish the race, and the defending champion missing out on major points. Alicia Galvano, well, she had a fantastic start. She was in third early on, then she faded down to 15th position, the number 28. And she'll be hoping for better in race two, no doubt. 151, three-time champion, Big Van World MTX Kawasaki's Courtney Duncan. She was also a rider that got caught in another sort of crash going into turn one over towards the right-hand side as we look to the left. That was Charlie Cannon and Lynn Volk. But your winner from race one, what an emphatic ride that was from Lotte van Drunen, 15 years old. And to go on and win in her first, it's not her first round, she did ride in Turkey last year, a couple of 7th place finishes on a 1:25, but in the year that matters in her rookie season, to come away, to lead every single lap from the front on the opening lap, there were no sign of nerves. And as the Fly Racing 15-second board goes up for the final time this weekend, WMX Race 2, will it be Lotte van Drunen or somebody else standing on the top step of the podium at this first round? Gate drops here then. And Duncan to the inside, and it's Nancy van der Ven, just like she did in race 1. This time she keeps up on 2 wheels. Van Drunen in around about 4th or 5th position, maybe, as riders fall at the back. Number 47 there, Gaia Odo of Italy, but it's van der Ven who leads. That might be the 9:12 of Georgia Vlasic in 2nd place on the KTM. 3rd is Duncan. 4th looks like it's Lynn Volk on the Fantic. So where is Lotte van Drunen? Hasn't got the same start as she had in race 1 yesterday. And you see what I mean, how rough the track is already, based on how it was left after the MXGP qualifying race yesterday. But your first 4 riders, Nancy van der Ven already fired up after not being able to finish race 1, and Duncan going back to 4th as Lynn Volk goes through. Takes over that 3rd place. And number 5, Britt Jans Bacon there in the yellow. Oh, sorry, it's number 7, Charlie Cannon. So the Australian in there on the JK Racing Yamaha. She's got a good start as well. So 2 of the riders that went down in turn 1, well, 3 of them, they're now 3rd, 4th and 5th in the race. As Cannon almost into the rear wheel of the New Zealander. Wow, this is going to be a great race. And we've got Daniela Guillen there just behind Cannon in red on the last lap gas. There she is. She was 2nd in race 1. And a lot more water has gone down on the racetrack as well. So it's going to be wet sand on the goggles of the riders, not the dry, loose, wispy stuff that was on there yesterday. They fixed the jump faces. Where is Lotte van Drunen? Just looking, just scanning the timesheet. She is in 8th place. So she'll be coming into view any moment now, just behind these guys, as Daniela Guillen around the outside of Courtney Duncan. So at the end of that opening lap then, van der Ven leads, Vlasic, Volk, Guillen 4th, Duncan 5th. Cannon 6th, Fontanesi 7th, Anderson in 8th place, Van Drunen in 9th. There she is, just over the Foxhole shot line now, into turn 2, just in front of pit lane. Meanwhile, heading up into turn 4. Duncan all over the back of the rider in red from Spain, Daniela Guillen, who got a race win in the Spanish Grand Prix last year. And if it stays like this, with a 2nd and a 4th, Daniela Guillen would stand on the top step of the podium, 1 point ahead of Lotte van Drunen, who's got more riders ahead of her to whittle down. And there she is already behind Charlie Cannon coming into view now. So we've got Duncan, Cannon there, number 7, and Lotte van Drunen will be coming into view. She has found her way past Fontanesi. But Vlasic, 9:12, under attack from the 172 on the Fantic Factory Maddie machine, Lynn Volk. These 2 fighting over 2nd position. And Guillen down the inside of Volk, who left the door wide open and defends that line to the outside. And she's going to pass 2 riders in the space of 2 corners, and she moves into 2nd position. So clear track ahead of her. And she's got her eyes set on Nancy van der Ven. And there is our first real sighting of the 401, Lotte van Drunen, as she eyes up the number 7 of Charlie Cannon, who goes around the outside of Courtney Duncan and takes over 5th place. And she's going to leave the door open. Lotte van Drunen is going to go siding through as well, and she does. And she tries to close the outside off, but Duncan just manages to hold on. So Cannon now 5th. Duncan taking the wide line around the outside. Does she get the drive? Well, Lotte van Drunen looks across, tries to defend again. Still can't find a way past the 151, who almost folds the front. Van Drunen now 401, still there in 7th position. And we have had one official lap as Van Drunen goes down the inside of Duncan. Moves into 6th place. Having to work a little bit harder is the Dutch teenager. A poor start. Wonder if there were any pre-race nerves going into race 2, knowing that as a winner yesterday, when there was probably relatively little pressure on her, all of a sudden the realization that you could be standing on the top step of the podium and leading the World Championship after round 1. Well, Charlie Cannon trying to make it difficult for her as the Australian succumbs to the 401, who goes around the outside and into 5th place. And Duncan looking to fire past the Australian as well. There's Van Drunen sizing up 9-12 of Georgia Blasik. This is 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Not able to find a way past at the moment. It's going to be tight for the podium positions as Guillen down the inside of Van der Ven takes over the lead. We've got a new leader. Right at the start of lap 3 or the end of lap 2, whichever way you want to look at it, Daniela Guillen, well, she was happy to settle for 2nd position, 30 seconds off the pace of Van Drunen yesterday, but she's come out all guns blazing today, knowing that if she beats Van Drunen, then she can be stood on the top step of the podium. And Daniela Guillen, who was 3rd overall here last year, 2nd in Spain, the only 2 rounds she did in the championship campaign. 2 third-place finishes here a year ago when we were here in May. And Guillen leads. Van der Ven would not have been expecting that. Meanwhile, Volk still 3rd, her fastest lap of the race. Van der Ven, her fastest lap, 2:03.7, but Guillen, 2:02.7, quicker than everybody else out on track. And here she is. What is the gap between Van Drunen and Volk? About 4.4 seconds at the moment. Dutch Championship round a couple of weekends ago. Van Drunen and Volk traded wins. But Guillen pulling clear of Van der Ven at the moment. Will the Dutch rider, number 85, the defending champion, of course, will she have anything for the Spaniard in the next 12 minutes plus 2 laps? Yeah, tripling in. They weren't able to do that yesterday, and you can see the difference that it makes. Yeah, Van Drunen was doing that from free practice yesterday, and she does it again now. So just the 2 riders launching into that wave section over the ram jump. Here's Volk. She's still there in 3rd place. She knows she's going to have her hands full if she is to try and close down the gap to Van der Ven, who's about 5 seconds up the road, and defend from Van Drunen, who's got the gap down to about 3 seconds. What will it be as she hits the line this time around? Down to 3.6. Duncan is 5th, Blasik 6th. Cannon is down to 12th place, so a fall for the Australian, down to 12th. Volk just to the inside. Here's Duncan. So Courtney Duncan up to 5th position. The podium as it stands right now with 3 laps complete. Daniela Guillen would be on 47 with a 2nd and a 1st, so 22 points and 25 points. Van Drunen would be 2nd overall, 25 and 18, 1st and 4th. Duncan would be 3rd on 36 with a 20 and a 16. Then behind her, Lynn Volk on 32, Britt Jans-Bacon 31. Defending champion 85, Nancy van der Ven, would be 10th overall with just the points from today's race 2, having not picked up points in race 1 yesterday. And Van Drunen now 1.9 seconds behind Volk. So we're going to have a battle between 3rd and 4th, just ahead of Duncan here, because Van Drunen quicker at the first 2 sectors. Here's your race leader, a little bit short there, and there's Van der Ven going for the big jump as well. So seeing what Guillen did a lap ago. Right, here's 3rd, and there's 4th. So Lotte Van Drunen has got Volk right in her line of sight now, with just over 9 minutes to go, plus 2 laps. So having to really dig deep is the 15-year-old. What a lap this has been for Lotte Van Drunen. A 2:05.7, the quickest of the first 4 riders at the moment, by a couple of tenths or hundredths of a second, because Daniela Guillen 2:05.77, Van Drunen 2:05.74, Van der Ven was 2:06, Volk was a 2:08, and Duncan puts her fastest lap in on a 2:06.4 that time around. Great ride this for Jans-Bacon as well. She's in 6th place. Blazic 7, Martine Hughes 8, Verstappen 9, Van der Vlis up to 10, Fontanesi down to 11th, Hedda Cannon, who's about 2 seconds behind the 6-time world champion. But on screen, in green, the 4:01 on the Kawasaki, Lotte Van Drunen sitting there in 4th place, just behind Lynn Volk here on the Fantic. Oh, nervous look over the shoulder there from Lynn Volk as she sees Van Drunen closing in on her. Lynn Volk picked herself up off the deck at turn 1, came through to 9th in a field of 37, 38 riders. But the circuit a lot rougher than it was yesterday, so skill, sand skills and technique. Oh, nicely gotten over the double there. Mine down to about 1.8 seconds a minute ago. Daniela Guillen between her and Van der Ven, but it's back out to 2.7 as they fight over the lead. But Van Drunen just here, 4:01. See the difference there. Volk not able to get into that wave section, and Van Drunen does. And she's gained a couple of bike lengths, and they're crucial bike lengths because she gets up the inside of Volk. Can she find a way through? There's traffic ahead of them. Yes, she does. She now moves into 3rd place, and she's the right side of the back marker here, or is she? She gets squeezed and loses that 3rd position again. Drag race over the line. Again, she goes inside. Volk leaves the door open, loses 3rd position. The gap between Volk and Van der Ven at the start of that lap was 8.9 seconds, so 9 seconds back to Van Drunen, who's now got clear track. She's got 7 minutes plus 2 to go. Guillen already over the Liqui Moly jump here and heading up into the next right-hander. Van der Ven. Oh, this is the gap between 1st and 2nd. So Van der Ven has dug in. Wasn't happy that she got passed by the Spaniard a few laps ago. Took over the lead in the process. And Van der Ven closing in. You would expect Van der Ven and Van Drunen and Volk to thrive in these conditions, but we saw last year with her 2 third-place finishes, Daniela Guillen getting on the podium here as well, 3rd overall last year. The 2 rounds that she did do, 3 third-place finishes and a race win, 2 podiums for the Spaniard. But she's definitely got her hands full now, not able to get over the gap there and into the first wave. So just 5.5 minutes to go. Guillen continues to lead, but the gap now down to a second. And here's how she took over the lead a few laps ago. Van der Ven thought she'd had a decent gap, but then going into the final turn, Guillen just cut to the inside, got on the gas. Van der Ven wasn't expecting it, had to shut off the throttle, and that was the lead change right there. But the gap is back down to nothing, because this is first and second heading uphill towards turn 4. Guillen and Van der Ven. Van Drunen, 6.7 seconds adrift now. Van Drunen can win the Grand Prix if she either finds a way past, well, she needs 2 passes, doesn't she? She needs to get past Daniela Guillen, but at the same time, it will be helped when Van der Ven, if Van der Ven can find herself past Daniela Guillen. So we've got a big few laps at stake here. 11 laps yesterday, race 1. We've already had 6. We're on lap 7 now. There's Van Drunen in the background. So the gap is coming down all the while. 6.3 seconds now, sector 1. In terms of the riders, Guillen, Van der Ven, Van Drunen. Sector 1 was 32.6, 32.0, 31.5. Lotte Van Drunen quickest. 34.0, 34.7, 33.1. Sector 2, again, Van Drunen quickest. The gap down to 4.7 seconds now as the leaders hit back markers. Sector 3 just around the corner. We might not need it, because with a clear track, Lotte Van Drunen will be able to see Guillen and Van der Ven. Sector 3 there, 33.5, 33.9, 32.1. Again, the gap down to less than 3 seconds now. Takes a quick look up as she comes into land. And Van Drunen has Van der Ven right there, just around the corner. There's a back marker. But first, second and third will all be exiting the final turn now. What a ride this has been through the field for Lotte Van Drunen. Volk 6 seconds further back. Duncan another 4 behind her. Still going to be good enough for a podium for the Kiwi, though. 1:31, back marker Giorgia Montini there. There's your race leader, 2:55, Daniela Guillen. 2.6 seconds between her, though. Only 4.8 between first and third. Because Van Drunen, 2.2 adrift. Back marker there. And Van Drunen all over the back of Van der Ven now. Here she is in third place. That's how the podium would be. Guillen, Van Drunen, Duncan, 47, 45, 36. Get this first round out of the way. Obviously, you were here 2 weeks ago. As Lotte Van Drunen said, she was riding and training here. Said in a post-race interview that she already felt then that this round had, you know, her name on it kind of thing. She knew it would be her round. That's what she said after winning the race yesterday. Sure, with round 2, 2 weeks from now, in Switzerland, she'll be heading to some hard pack. Just give you a quick rundown here. Van der Ven, Van Drunen, Volk, Duncan, 8, top 5. Britt Jens Bacon, 6. Martine Hughes, 7. Charlotte van der Vlis, Georgia Vlasic, Chiara Fontanesi, Charlie Cannon in 11. Zara Anderson, 12. Larissa Papameyer, Danny Gleason, 14. Mattea Salebo. And then Gabriela Sedados, Amandine Verstappen. .9 seconds separate the first 3 riders. They're all in that turn. The right to the outside is a back marker. Here's Van der Ven. She's in second place. About a second and a half further back is the green, the 401. of Lotte van Drunen. The overall podium, the overall victory still belongs to Daniela Guillen. She is on 47 points. If Van der Ven finds her way into second, it will not be enough. She will tie the lead with Guillen. And if this was anybody else ahead of Lotte van Drunen, maybe not so specialised in these conditions, maybe things would be different. But you've got a defending champion there trying to pick up as many points. Courtney Duncan, Big Van World MTX Kawasaki, and she has got Lynn Volk right there. There could be another challenge here and a fourth position on the cards. And given what we've seen so far this weekend, this World Championship in WMX in 2023 is not going to be a walk in the park for anybody. I think it's going to be as close a title chase as we've seen in recent years. And every point is going to be vital. And Duncan knows that, perhaps. Deep sand, not her forte. Just a little bit too much rear brake there. Dropping into that turn allows Volk to get away ever so slightly. Van der Ven managing the gap between her and Van Drunen. The gap's still about 2.2 as Van Drunen holds that third position. But 3 to go. Going to be 2 laps to go next time around. Any moment now. And the 2-lap board is out. A 2:07.6 for Guillen, 2:08.8 and a 2:09. For Van Drunen. Volk and Duncan, though, what were their lap times this time around? Volk goes through 2:11.9, 2:09.7. So on that lap time, and with 2 to go, will we see a change in fourth position? But the typical thing, it's okay catching a rider, it's the other to find a way past, and when you're dealing with traffic as well. Martine Hughes now up into 6th place. She has dispatched of Britt Jans Bacon. She's now in 7th place, so Hughes, a good solid ride there. Van der Vlist 8, Fontanesi 9, Cannon 10. She's 1.3 behind Fontanesi in that 9th place on the JK Racing Yamaha. A bit of a mistake there for Lynn Volk. Duncan holds a nice tight line. But they know they've had to work hard today. This weekend. Just over a lap to go between these two. Keeping an eye on the gap between second and third. It's down to 1.4 as well. Van Drunen in the background has closed in on Van der Ven. There you see the gap between second and third. Guillen has just over a lap to go. She's on course for taking her second career race victory, her first overall Grand Prix win, the Spaniard. But Lotte van Drunen also knows points will be vital. We head to the hard pack in Switzerland. We know how good Daniela Guillen is because she took a race win in Spain last year. Less than a second between second and third, and they're in amongst traffic. An untidy second corner for Van der Ven. She goes wide. Lotte van Drunen down the inside, all over the back of the Yamaha girl. What a performance this has been. For the 401, the front end almost got away from her there, though, in that turn at the end of pit lane. Duncan is up into 4th position. She has found her way past Lynn Volk. That's going to be 2 more World Championship points for her. Van der Ven cannot afford to switch off. She'll be hoping there are no back markers, or if they are, they fall kindly for her. Unlike Lotte van Drunen, who'll be thinking, who almost capitalised when traffic was ahead, and she's looking to go around the outside here. Van der Ven will have the radar on underneath that helmet of hers. How close do you want it? Guillen now 4.3 seconds behind. There is back marker traffic. It does interfere with play. Has that been the costly mistake for Van Drunen on this final lap, yes or no? Well, if she's going to take second position. And Cannon up to 8th place now. She's bang away past Van der Vlist and Fontanesi. So a couple more points on the board there for the Australian. That'll give us 7th overall. Daniela Guillen already on her way to the checkered flag here. 2 corners, 1 corner from home now. All eyes on the battle behind them, though, between Nancy van der Ven and Lotte van Drunen. Daniela Guillen will win race 2. She wins the overall here at the opening round. She'll be the red plate holder. But who is it going to be that crosses the line in second position? Will it be van der Ven? Yes, it is. Van Drunen, 3/4 of a second behind her. And the overall will be Guillen, Van Drunen and Duncan. And Daniela Guillen takes her first overall Grand Prix victory, her second career race win, and she does it here. And Gabriela Cededos there, the first to congratulate her Spanish Motocross of European Nations teammate. Nancy van der Ven will be ruining the problems that she had yesterday, because she knows with that performance she could have at least been standing on the podium today. And this was Courtney Duncan getting into 4th position. We missed it earlier in the live, but this was the pass. So there was traffic ahead. This is around the outside. Okay, final turn. Volk just made a bad decision there. Duncan saw the danger, went around the outside, and that was the Kiwi into 4th place. So Daniela Guillen takes her second career race win, but her first Grand Prix victory, her 3rd podium now for the Spaniard on the last lap gas. And she will take the overall victory by 2 points over Lotte van Drunen. Courtney Duncan on 38, so 9 points separating the first 3 riders this weekend. Still got riders coming in, as you can see. But we'll give you the full rundown in just a few moments' time. And here is Lisa with our race 2 and Grand Prix winner, Daniela Guillen.
Daniela Guillen, congratulations. Your first overall victory. You secured it with a race win. Perfect start to your 2023 campaign.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I trained so hard, and yes, I did it. And also say thank you to the team and all the sponsors that helped me. I'm so happy. I don't believe it.
Good job out there. Thank you.
She came out all guns blazing, firing on all cylinders. The 2:55, Daniela Guillen on the last lap, gas. Second yesterday in race 1 was happy for Lotte van Drunen to take the win by more than 30 seconds. But you know what? On a tougher racetrack today, she was happy to go all in, and she came away with the win as well. Daniela Guillen, your winner in race 2 and your overall winner here in Sardinia. Give you the race result then. Fantastic ride for Daniela Guillen, taking her first win, her second career win of her career. Van der Ven second, Van Drunen third. Fantastic ride for the young Dutch teenager. Courtney Duncan 4th in the race. How vital will those points be come the championship end? Lynn Volk 5th, Martine Hughes 6th, Britt Jans Bacon and Charlie Cannon. Good ride for the Aussie. 9th, Fontanesi, and 10th, Van der Vlist. 11th for Georgia Blasik, 12th Sarah Anderson. Then we had Larissa Papameyer, Danny Gleason, Mattea Salebo, Gabriela Cededos, and then Malu Jakobsen, the 14 of Mathilde Martinez, the 469 of Jamie Astudillo, and Capsima there in the points in 20th place.
Alla premiazione appena naturalmente la regia di palco
Overall, Daniela Guillen on the top step for the first time in her career. And I would imagine that that is the first ever Spanish victory in WMX. In fact, I know that it is. Lotte van Drunen, second overall. Courtney Duncan. I'm sure a podium here this weekend will feel as good as a win, or certainly that performance yesterday did anyway. Britt Jans Bacon and Shana van der Vlis rounding out the top 5. And the championship leader then, with the red plate, as we head to Switzerland in round 2. In 2 weeks' time, Daniela Guillen shall have a 2-point advantage over Lotte van Drunen, with Courtney Duncan just a few points further back. Nancy van der Ven, well, she'll build on those 22 points. Disappointed not to finish race 1 yesterday as the defending champion. Last year's campaign was over 5 rounds. This year it will be over 6. So she will be more than keen to get things going. And Gas lead the way in the manufacturers classification, followed by Kawasaki, Yamaha, Fantic, KTM and Husqvarna. Let's go do the podium, shall we? Third overall, Big Van World MTX Kawasaki's Courtney Duncan, 3-time world champion, all smiles on the podium, because there were quite a few people coming into this round thinking that she wouldn't even make it to the podium because of the amount of sand talent out there. 4th, 5th maybe at best. But Lotte van Drunen, her first podium in WMX, she gets a win and a 3rd this weekend. But she has already stamped her mark on this WMX World Championship. Where to now for the 15-year-old? But Daniela Guillen, the last lap gas rider, taking her 2nd career win, race win, her 1st overall victory. And with her podiums last year, it's her 3rd career podium now for the Spaniard. Third overall, Courtney Duncan, Yannicka Judica, the FIM CMF director, on hand to deliver that 3rd place trophy to the Big Van World MTX Kawasaki rider from New Zealand. Points on the board, important, and these 3 riders doing just that this weekend. Rosina Locchi, Riola Sardo sports councillor, delivers the 2nd place trophy to Lotte van Drunen. She's all smiles, and she'll be happy that she came away from here, not just on the podium, but with a race win as well. And the mayor of Riola Sardo, Lorenzo Pina, hands the winner's trophy to Daniela Guillen, a winner for the first time in WMX. Of course, thanks to everybody involved in making this Grand Prix happen in this region on the island of Sardinia. It is a beautiful location to come to. Hospitality absolutely spot on. Fulvio Guido Mallorca from MC Motor School Riola, the president of that no less, handing the team trophy to team owner, team manager there from last lap. Gas. Antonio Elia Portela, though, the FIM CMS director, on hand to deliver the 1st red plate of the campaign, and it goes to the girl in red on the gas, Daniela Guillen. Victorious here at the opening round in Sardinia, and the first ever Spaniard to stand on the top step of the podium in WMX. Congratulations, Daniela Guillen.
Iniziamo ad ascoltare il primo inno qui a Riola, e l'inno è quello della Spagna. E sfumano le note dell'inno di Spagna.
Your top three here this weekend. Daniela Guillen, your overall Grand Prix winner. Lotte van Drunen, second overall. Courtney Duncan, third overall. What a weekend we've had, and what a start to the 2023 WMX campaign as well. And I think we have seen a sign of things to come as well for this season. It's going to be a close fight all the way through. And it will be a well-deserved title for whoever wins it right at the end of this season as well. But for now, fantastic job here in Sardinia. Here's the highlights. WMX Race 2 then, and it was a cleaner start for those who got involved in the carnage yesterday. More so for the defending champion, 85, Nancy van der Ven. Lotte van Drunen, though, was buried mid-pack. There she was, just tiptoeing around the inside in about 10th or 12th place as a rider went down at the back. But up front, it was Nancy van der Ven who emerged with the lead. Georgia Vlasic was second. Courtney Duncan was in third. But on the opening lap, Lynn Volk found her way through over the jump in the background to take over that third place. Charlie Cannon was in fourth position in the yellow helmet. But again, towards the end of the lap, Daniela Guillen was on a charge, found her way past Duncan, Volk and Georgia Vlasic to move into second position. Then she had clear track ahead of her. A couple of seconds further around the corner was the number 85, Nancy van der Ven. Struggling with roll-offs there. Courtney Duncan couldn't get the distance over the jump. That allowed Lotte van Drunen to go through into sixth place. And then she managed to get around the outside of Charlie Cannon as well to take over fifth. Meanwhile, up front, closing down the gap, taking over the lead, Daniela Guillen. This was all in the space of the first 2 or 3 laps. Then van Drunen capitalised on Lynn Volk, leaving the door wide open. That moved her into fourth place. Third place at the time. Then Duncan managed to find a way past Volk. That put her into fourth, And then all eyes on the battle for the lead. Daniela Guillen, an emphatic winner, but behind them it was nothing in it between Nancy van der Ven and Lotte van Drunen. Van der Ven just hanging on. The overall classification, though, going for the first time in history to the Spaniard, Daniela Guillen, a first ever Spanish winner as well. Van Drunen second, Courtney Duncan third, and the points in the championship reflecting the overall classification here as it is the first round. But Daniela Guillen will be taking the red plate to Switzerland in 2 weeks' time when we go to Braunfeld. Congratulations, Daniela Guillen, Lotte van Drunen, Courtney Duncan, but the red plate in the hands of the Spaniard.
Daniela Guillen, massive congratulations to you. A second place finish, a race win, your first overall of the season ever. Must be nice to have that red plate at the start of the year.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I don't believe it. I started so good, but after I take a good rhythm and I finish first. And yeah, I'm so happy. Also say thank you to the team and all the sponsors that helped me. This is for you.
Great job. Thanks, Daniela. Second overall today, we have Lotte van Drunen. Lotte, easy win in that first race. You really had to dig deep in that second race there. But podium, you must be happy with that.
Yeah, of course I'm happy. First moto went perfect. I got all shot and I rode my whole race as first. Second moto, not so good start, but I came back to third. So yeah, I'm pleased to get second. I want to say an insane thanks to my dad. He's always there, and my brothers and my mom and all my sponsors.
Great job, thank you. Third overall today, we have Courtney Duncan. Courtney, I guess not the best starts this weekend, playing catch-up in both races, but look, you've got the podium, the start of the year, and in the sand as well. Good job.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty proud of today's effort, and in a normal GP, probably not, but given the sand, the tough conditions, we know they're not my strength. They never have been, so to come out here with a podium of 4-3 is feels like a win, honestly, to me, and like you say, bad starts kind of made it tough, but solid start to the season, and it's onwards and upwards from here on in.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thank you.
The big band world, MTX Kawasaki, Courtney Duncan, third overall this weekend, her 27th career podium. And you know what? It's only the third time that she's ever finished in third position as well. So pretty impressive for the 151. Equally so for the 401. Lotte van Drunen in just her second WMX round. Of course, she rode the final round last year. She comes away with a race win and a third to take second overall. What's her first podium here in Sardinia. But what about Daniela Guillen? 3 podiums in her career now. She comes away with a second career race win, but her first Grand Prix victory and the first Spaniard to do so as well. She'll take the championship leaders red plate to Switzerland in 2 weeks' time. Congratulations to the last lap gas rider, Daniela Guillen, your overall winner here in Sardinia, round 1. What a way to start the season. Right, we're going to take a break in a moment. We'll be back for EMX 250 race 2. We're back at 11:25, so about an hour from now. In between then, we've got the warm-ups for MX2 and MXGP. So we'll see you in an hour for the final race of the weekend for the 250 European Championship riders. Thanks for watching. See you then. Bye for now.
Gli ultimi settaggi della moto, qualora ieri qualcosa non fosse andato come si aspettava, quindi per loro 15 minuti del tracciato della Riola Sand.